Welcome back, one and all, to the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. I am the TheDarkSeraph, and last time we arrived at the Valia Lake, at the lakeshore. Kingfisher Inn. Let's get to investigating. Welcome to the Kingfisher Inn. Are you here to stay? Let's see. Yes and no. How should I put it? We're here looking for someone. Is there a guest staying here who loves to fish? Pretty much everybody who stays here loves to fish. We heard he was a friend of an old man who stayed in yesterday. Do you have a clue who might be? Oh, you were talking about Old Man Quano? You must mean his fishing buddy Lloyd. Lloyd? Yeah, here's a professional angler who came all the way here from the Royal City. It seems as though he's a member of the Fisherman's Guild. He sounds like a pretty amazing guy. Do you know where you might find him? He's out dropping a line somewhere. If I remember right, he should be out on the back pier. Of course he is. Probably off to the side there, not the boat dock. Excuse me. Are you a man named Lloyd from the Royal City? Wow, he's really focused. He's just tuned everything out of his mind. It looks like this is where my skills come into play. What are you? Just sit back and enjoy. Olivier leaned over with a smile and left all kinds of things up to interpretation and blew into the man's ear. Oh my goodness, what in the... Who are you kids? Where did you come from? That was a dirty trick to play on him, Olivier. Yeah, that was pretty low. How do you do this evening, good sir? We tried calling out to you just a moment ago, but we could see, like a true professional, your attention was fixed upon your task. Are you Lloyd? Yeah, that's right. But how did you know my name? We heard from a certain old man about you. Do you have any time you could spare to speak with us? I see, so you heard from Mr. Quano. Yeah, I saw that strange pair about 2 nights ago. I knew it. Could you fill us in on the details? Before that, are you all bracers or something? Is this related to a crime? We can't say for sure, but there does appear to be a possibility. In that case, I'll tell you what I know. It was the other night when I was out fishing on my boat. I was returning to the inn, dead tired after a day of battling out with the lake's guardian. I had gotten late into the night, and it was all about time when everyone at the inn was asleep in their beds. What do you mean by the lake's guardian? I'm glad you asked! The guardian is a giant salmon that swims in the murky depths. It's been the feared king of the waters among fishing lovers for over a decade. Ah, crap, I shouldn't have asked. It looks like you've thrown a log into this maniac's fire. Is it really like that huge fish or something, like you say? You bet your last mirror it is, and I've been chasing that damn thing for the last 5 years of my life. It comes and goes in different parts of the Valia Lake and changes its feeding spots on whim. Heard from a buddy of mine that it appears in these parts, so I came running from the city. No, that's what I call a passion. I can completely understand where you're coming from. Whenever I find something I like, I hold on to it until I get a hold of it. For example, a bottle of Grand Chardonnay and such. In your case, steal it is more accurate. How about we get back to our story? So, Lloyd, what happened when you came back from the fishing last night? Oh, right. I'd returned the boat and was on my way to the inn. I saw an odd couple heading to the road from the grounds behind the building. Onto the road in the middle of the night. No doubt about it. They headed out on the new path. At first I thought it was a group of people visiting from the city heading back home. But it was way too late for something like that, and when I asked at the inn for the next day, nobody knew a thing. Thought maybe I'd seen a couple of ghosts or something. Ghosts? There are ghosts that come out here? Just so you know, these two I saw were a young couple. They might have just been two lost souls who committed a double suicide after not being accepted by those around them. Oh, don't tell me anymore! Oh, brother. A bracer that's afraid of ghosts? The guild is doomed. Not to mention her habit of always wanting to hear more ghost stories and other bizarre stuff. Now, isn't your being scared attractive in its own right, Estelle? Not sexy, but cute nonetheless. Like a little kitten shivering in the cold. You'd better watch it because this kitten bites! Well, I was just kidding about the ghost part. But the couple did, in fact, seem to be one with a purpose and reason. I say this because the girl was wearing some rather odd clothing. What do you mean by that? I saw her from behind. Couldn't say for sure. But it looked like she was wearing a school uniform. A school uniform? It couldn't be. Janice Royal Academy? Wow, you really know your stuff, kid. You betcha. My niece goes there as well, and it looked like the same one she wears. I see, this whole event was just got more interesting. It's her. I know it's that lying tomboy for sure. Hush, birds, hush. Shush, you've been very quiet for the past one. But now you're making noise. Now I need you to shush. Shh. Shush, bird. We're finally on her tail. So, she's an acquaintance of yours? Then while you're at it, tell the two of them not to fret or rush into anything they'll regret later on. My mind isn't failing me. I could have sworn they said something about coming out again tonight. Hush, my bird. Hush. Fred, be quiet. Man, I don't even measure up when it comes to that fishing nut. Shh. Why are you making noise? Boy, you just come barging right on in, don't you, Sophie girl? You just come barging on in. No regard for anyone. I mean, thinking about the Fisherman's Guild, too. Wonder what kind of group that is. I need to close my door. Okay. So, how is this couple involved in the missing airliner? If you don't mind telling me, that is. Well, in a nutshell, the girl is with the Capua family. Ah, that seems to be the person in question, alright. Which means that tonight is the night. Dog just wants to come hang out and whatever. I don't know where that ring is. Like I said, it's probably with the Capua loot. So what do we do now? Yeah, just rest and take a nap, I guess. just unwind for a little bit. What a picturesque view. The entire lake looks like it's glowing. Too bad we can't see the royal city on the opposite shore because of the haze. From here, it's easy to tell that this is the biggest lake in the kingdom. This lake is like a fisherman's dream come true. I bet it'd be a blast to throw a line in those waters. Then how about it? Might be a nice change of pace for you. You want to stop scratching? Sophie, you want to stop scratching? You want to stop scratching. What are you going to do, Joshua? Let's see. There's a book I've been meaning to read, so maybe I'll just sit in that chair and relax. How old are you again? Only geezers talk about sitting back and relaxing. It's making noise. Young boys are supposed to get out and move their bodies. I'll leave that part to you. Sometimes you can be such a drag. Oh well, I should hurry up and decide on a fishing spot. Somewhere around that pier looks like it might be some lucky place for some bites. Olivier and Shara are just enjoying some wine. There it is. I don't know why that wasn't giving me the prompt to interact with earlier. That was just weird that it didn't let me. This introduces the fishing minigame, apparently. Which I had quite a bit of fun with in the Cold Steel arc. If I can catch 10 different types of fish, there's a... Wait for it to take the hook. And change it up a little bit this time. Holy boots. It definitely is saying the middle one does to be the right way to just do it right. One more, why not? A smelt. He must have gone inside. A few trout and a smelt. The 100 Days War seems to have been left on the table. Estelle picked it up. In the spring of 1192 of the Septian calendar, a single cannon shot took the Hacken Gate, situated in the northern part of Liberal Kingdom. This marked the beginning of an invasion later known as the 100 Days War, and the moment in which the raging Golden Stallion assailed with the noble White Falcon. During this time, the Hacken Gate was little more than reinforced medieval rampart. It easily succumbed to the frown fired by one of the Imperial Rhineford Company-built orbital tanks, leaving a section of the aged barrier fractured beyond repair. As the Liberal Kingdom's other defenses walls were hit in succession as a fusibile of cannonballs, they too fell under explosive impact and were reduced to a mountain of rubble. At about the same time of the first cannon shot was fired, a single letter from the Ereboni embassy located in the city was delivered to Queen Alicia. More specifically, it was a rite of containing a declaration of war by the Erebonian Empire upon the Liberal Kingdom. In terms of diplomatic wisdom, the property of the declaration was established of being handled prior to the preemptive strike, but in this instance, there was hardly a difference in time between when the two occurred. In short, firing the first shot at the exact moment war was declared on the Kingdom of Liberal made it possible for the Erebonian Empire to guise their preemptive strike as one of legitimacy when the first bombshell hit. This could be referred to as the new diplomatic war tactic, though one incapable of being employed without a meticulous level of planning used in concert with an orbital communication system. Use blitz tactics. After the destruction of Hacken Gate, the Imperial Army began its invasion of Liberal in earnest. Overall, its troop strength was made up of 13 divisional units. This proved to be roughly half of the Empire's entire military force, and was such a massive deployment that it exceeded 3 times that of Liberal's entire royal army. Within a month after the outbreak of war, the Imperial Army had occupied nearly all of the Liberal territory. Only the Grand Cell region and Leiston Fortress I don't know, situated just off the shore of Valia Lake, remained in opposition. So rapidly were the blitz tactics carried out that even the Calvard Republic, an ally of the Liberal Kingdom and a longtime rival of the Erebonian Empire, had never had the opportunity to dispatch auxiliary forces to aid its partner. However, in a following attempt by the Imperial Army to take control over the Zeiss Central Factory and Amalga Mine, they instead found themselves on the verge of being forced to surrender to Queen Alicia, who remained entrenched within the royal city. 2 months following the outbreak of war, the battle situation was altered in a way which no one could have previously anticipated. Unbeknownst to the Erebonian army, 3 patrol ships were quietly being developed behind the walls of the fortress. Upon completion, they were under the direction of the veteran commander, General Morgan, and a large-scale counterattack was lost. These patrol ships, shielded by armor far superior to the tanks of the Imperial counterparts and mounted with a substantial amount of high-performance orbital weaponry, had also managed to boost their speed of over 1,800 sledge per hour. Using these crafts, an independent mobile forces lauded as an entire elite of an elite of elite, lauded by as the elite of the elite. Okay. Liberal's forces mounted an attack and quickly recaptured the checkpoints connecting the various regions. And as this strike was underway, they simultaneously launched an amphibious attack from the Leiston fortress, and one by one defeated the remaining isolated Imperial divisions. After just 3 months following the outbreak of war, the largest part of the Imperial Army's remaining divisions finally surrendered. However, capitulation was at hand. There was indications of a surge of further reinforcements from the Imperial homeland, a move which galvanized under continental nations to follow suit and join the Calvard Republic in supporting Liberal. Together they lambasted the Empire, and a formidable group of allied forces began to materialize. Amidst all the chaos, the Septian Church, in cooperation with the Bracer Guild, called for an armistice. And after approximately 100 days from the start of the war, the hostilities came to an end. In the following year of 1193, the Arab royal villa on the outskirts of the royal city, a peace treaty was signed by both the Liberal and Arabonian sides. Although no identification was made, an official apology was offered by the imperial government, as they expressed that they had made a grievous error attributed to a tragic incident which occurred within their borders. That right there is relevant in The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3. I'm not going to go into full detail. If you want to know, I did a full Let's Play of it, which will be linked in the description. It's something that's liable to piss you off. Politics, just politics. Hey there, laddie. What are you doing withering away the evening in a place like this? Not much. How about yourself? Are you done fishing, or are you heading back to battle? No, I've had my fill. It sure was a while since I did it, though. That reminds me. You said you were going to read it, but you ended up leaving the book on your table. You should be more careful with your stuff. I actually finished reading it. My eyes were starting to feel a bit tired, so I thought I'd take a walk for a change. Liar. What? You're hiding your true feelings again. I can tell it's what you're doing. And besides, that's not really fair. You always find a way to cheer me up when I'm feeling down. And while I may not be as reliable as Dad, I'm still going to give you a shoulder to lean on. I'm sorry. It's times like these when you should say thank you, not apologize. You may be smart, Joshua, but sometimes you don't seem to know what's important. You're probably right. Thanks, Estelle. Very good. Now that wasn't too hard, was it? Oh, right. And in return, how about you play me a song on your harmonica, as you wish? The Whereabouts of Light good for you? That's the one I wanted to hear. I wonder why it is that when I hear the sound of your harmonica in the evening light like this, it makes me want to cry. So you're not going to ask about my past. I mean, we promised, remember? You were going to tell me when you felt like it, and I wasn't going to ask. And considering that 5 years have passed, it doesn't seem like such a big deal anymore. It has been 5 years, hasn't it? You can just live with me for that long and not have a million questions? That day your father came home with this beat-up kid, some random stranger who never said a word about his past. Why'd you take him in like that? Well, it seemed like the obvious thing to do. Besides, you're family, Joshua. And like I said before, I know you pretty well. You love books, you're a weapons geek, and you've got a serious knack for just about anything that comes your way. Hush, birds. Don't you ruffle your feathers at me. You're kind and fair, but you've also got a way of not letting others inside by using politeness as a shield. Now wait a minute. And you're caring. And lonely. Don't buzz me either, you little jackass. I'm reading. This is an emotional moment, and you're ruining it. You little jackass. Of course, I don't know everything about your past. If you want to make compromises, if you want to make comparisons, I don't know a lot about Dad's past either. But it doesn't mean that he and I aren't family. Being a family for us has more to do with me knowing his personality, his habits, the food he likes. You know, the kinds of things that only I know firsthand. You're no different, Joshua. You make it nearly impossible to argue with you. You know that? It's been like that since the first time we met, and you gave me that flying kick to the gut as I was lying in the bed, wounded, I might add. Did I really do that? Yeah, injured. And all more than once. I'm sure it was just a bit of childish play. Blame Dad for my lack of social graces. Yeah, sure, nice excuse. But anyway, Estelle. Let's make sure we solve this whole airliner mystery. I don't know if Dad's been captured or anything, but let's resolve this with our own hands. That's exactly what I intend to do. So how about we head back to the inn? I'm sure supper is ready by now. Great idea. I'm starving. We need to eat our fill. We need to eat our fill so we're ready for tonight. I'm sure you've picked up on this by now, but Joshua is not from the kingdom of Liberl. And he was reading a book on the 100 Days' War when the Erebonian Empire invaded Liberl. Oh, I almost forgot. Here's your book, Joshua. Oh, right. I'm actually done with it. And at this point, it's just going to end up being bulk weight. Wonder what I should do with it. Well, can I read it? It looks like a pretty difficult book, but do you think if I spent some time with it, I'd understand? I'm sure you would do just fine. There's already a lot of stuff you know in there anyway. So how about you take a stab at it? Sure, I'll give it a shot. I'm going to end this one here. Thank you all for watching. Join me next time on The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. As we track down those filthy bandits. But until then, I am the Dark Seraph, signing off.